A hug is warmer when you're in it, and that's a fact. And saying I love you's always better. Seasons, reasons, they don't matter. So don't hold back. See how many people in this world, so people in this world, how many people are you praying for love? So don't save it all. Christmas, find a way to give little love every day. So don't save it all. Christmas, find a way. 'Cause holidays have come and gone, but love lives on if you give on. Oh wow, look at that. Did you see all that? Wow. For you in the choir. Can you tell they've been working? Yes. Yeah, what a blessing it is. We don't want to save all of our love for Christmas Day, and you know why we don't want to save all of our love for Christmas Day? Because we don't want to miss out on experiencing that love and give it away. And sometimes, especially during this busy holiday season, we long for that day, December 25th, to arrive. We have all these expectations, and sometimes we get to that day and the expectations are not exactly what they thought. But the reality of the way life unfolds is different. And if we just wait for that day, we miss out on a lot. That's what it means to have a present Advent. That we not just have a season of preparation, but that we invite God to enter into our lives in ways that makes a difference now, today. And so that we live Christmas each and every day. And for that, we can give thanks that we can do that. Because we are loved often more than what we could ever imagine. I forgot to share 3 important things in the announcements, and so let me do that now. On your connection card, you'll notice that we are asking the congregation, what time would you like to attend a worship service on Christmas Eve? in the evening. If you would like to come at 7 o'clock, please put an X there. If you would like to come at 10 o'clock, put an X there. If you voted last week or let us know last week when you want to come to worship, please do not do it today. We're trying to see if we have enough people to do 2 services. Right now, it's kind of neck and neck. So let's see what happens. We will have 2 services if people want to come, so know that. Also, we are going to be having a new member connection class. The information is in your bulletin. If you are interested in becoming a member of this congregation, please let us know that by checking I want to become a member of MCC Richmond, so that I will contact you this week and give you information about that. And then lastly, last Sunday afternoon, Jay Irvine resigned as our office manager here at MCC Richmond. And as sad as that is, we blessed Jay with the realities of his life and the things that were happening. I want you to know that I contacted Calvin Wills, who said to me on the phone, yes, I am available to come work in the office for a while. But then he said, I have to tell you, I was just thinking I need to start taking some steps to get back into the work field after a time, a little break. Would you welcome Calvin as our interim office manager? Calvin, would you stand up? Calvin, please stand so people know who you are. I promised Calvin that I would say to you that Sunday morning he is not working in the church office. Sunday is his time for worship. So if you have questions about the church office, please hold them until Monday. The office will still be open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 10 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon. We are so grateful for Calvin's work. We are grateful for Jay's work. But we are grateful mainly that God continues to remind us that God has everything under control. Amen. Right? Everything is under control. Today also is the first day of a whole new church year. First Sunday in Advent. And so today we start learning and studying Mark's Gospel. And most Sundays we will have a passage from Mark's Gospel. I love Mark. And the reason I like Mark is because Mark speaks his mind. You know, I have not been known very long as being a person who is passive and keeping my opinions to myself. So when I read Mark, I'm like, yeah, I could identify with that. The beauty for you is I want you to be just like your pastor, even better, to speak your mind. And yet at the same time, as you speak your mind, that those things that are weighing on your mind, that you realize that God is a part of those things. God is a part of those things. Especially during the holiday season, it is easy for us to get into this mindset of having an expectation of how things are going to be, or who people are and how they should treat us and all of that stuff. We go shopping looking for that special gift for our loved ones, or our parents, or those people special to us, right? We think about our family meal at Thanksgiving, and it's easy to think, ooh, what is Christmas going to be like? If Thanksgiving meal is a little bit shady, you know what you're thinking Christmas is going to be like, right? Yes. And yet at the same time, it's easy to fall into that cycle of the idealism of the perfect gift, the perfect family, the perfect partner, the perfect church, the perfect community. And so often, our expectation of that idea of what things should be and how life should unfold can help us to do things better as individuals, right? That we will be accountable for our behavior and our actions, and we will do things to help people experience the God of our understanding, and that's wonderful. But also, the problem with idealism is that sometimes that picture in our mind can turn around and be the thing that brings pain and brokenness to us. Because so often when we think about that perfect relationship, that perfect church, that perfect job, that perfect whatever, we can get to a place where we begin to question who we are. right? We can begin to question, well, maybe I'm not so good. Maybe because I'm single, I'm not worthy of intimate love in my life. Or maybe because you've blown it with your job, that you begin to think, oh, I'm less than, I don't deserve a good job. Or if you're at a point in your life where you're having a health crisis, you begin to wonder, what did I do to cause this? And the truth of the matter is, you haven't done anything. It's just that you have chosen to live. And as we choose to live, life will unfold the way life wants to be. The reality is that it doesn't matter what our ideas of life is. It doesn't matter what our idea of the perfect partner, the perfect reality of anything. We are always at every intersection of our lives people who deserve to be treated with kindness, with love, with respect, and amazing gratitude for our lives. When we can live into that reality of hopefulness, then our lives begin to change. Because as we are able to accept our plot, whatever that is, we can remember that God is with us, and we invite God into those situations. That we remember that God is faithful in all things. So it doesn't matter what we're going through. We know and we trust that as we journey through all of our life experiences, that we live each day to the fullest, knowing that we are loved beyond our wildest imagination, because God will shatter the ideas of what we think we want, and always give us something better. I know this because God gave me all of you. It was not my intention to move to Richmond, Virginia, and to have this full life. It was not. It was my intention to come and to serve and to bring a new reality of God to this place and this town. Little did I know that you would change my reality because of your love of God and your love of me. When I first came here, it was important to you that I be comfortable. It was important to you that I knew where to live and where not to live, where to shop. And then when I started asking you questions like, why do people say hello to me at the grocery store? Remember? Because that blew my mind. I remember telling Bubba in the office one day, Bubba, it's so strange to me. As I go through the toll gate, the lady always says to me, good morning. And I'm like, ooh. And at night, she always said, have a nice evening. It's like, ooh. I said, Bubba, what do they want? What's really going on? And Bubba would say, this is just the South. This is just how it is here. Little did I know by coming here that I would fall in love, right? I knew that Margaret Ellis was praying because she told me she was. We want you to date and we want you to be happy. And lo and behold, the lesbians hooked me up. And I And who knew that Kirk and I would move into a house that was over 100 years old, and we get to create this space that our neighbors say to us, we know you're gay because you put up this fence. We're like, the fence defines us as being gay men. But we are thankful for that fence because we want people to know who we are, and we give thanks that we can be this gay, this happy, this much in love. Who knew that our congregation would grow this quickly? Who knew that we would be making a stamp on our community as we are? None of that happened. None of that has happened because we stayed in bed and did not make a decision to live our lives. All of this has happened because we have come to a place where we realize that God has good things for us, and that our hope comes in the very real relationship of a living God, not in the hope that the promised one will come with judgment, not in the hope that the promised one does not have good gifts for us, But the reality that we live in the season of Christmas, that we remember that God loves us so much, that God sent Jesus to be born a child, a baby. A child that was laid in a manger because there was no crib, there was no nursery, and that manger was in a dark cave. Jesus laid on a bed of hay in a trough where animals would be fed. And that child would grow up with the reality of sharing God's love at every angle, every opportunity, to remind those who had been marginalized and put away, those who were riddled with illness and disease and no hope. Jesus went at every angle to remind them that they are worthy of grace and love because of who they are and just as they are in their current reality. That's amazing love. That is a love that does not come on December 25th. That is a love that comes at every day. And yet it was the same person of Jesus that as he lived his life, went through each and every experience with dignity and integrity and grace, never giving up, reminding people that they are loved just the way they are by Abba God. Abba God. And that message never changed, and that message took Jesus from a manger to a cross. And the reality of the cross is one riddled with profound pain and brokenness. And the only good thing that can remind me of, and I challenge you with, is this. God understands profound brokenness and pain. Because Jesus died for each and every one of us. But the good news is this. God rewrote history because Jesus did not stay dead. Right? Now that's something to get excited about. So it doesn't matter our plot in our lives. The present reality is this. God understands what you're going through. And God is with you, bringing blessing. Do you want to see it? That's the message of Advent. Where are you looking for God in your life? Where is it that God wants to come anew today, this moment, in your present reality? The journey of Advent is to be aware of God entering anew into our world each and every moment that we invite that presence of the Divine One, of the Promised One, into each situation that we have. And how is it that we go through our day and look for the reality of the Promised One in the reality of others, in those that we work with, in those that we share breakfast with, in those that we drink coffee with, in the homeless person that just needs a smile, or the nurse practitioner who will go one more time into a room and share news with somebody that they may not want to hear, or the doctor who goes into surgery to give little Ethan a new heart. That's the present reality of Advent and God's love. This season, open your heart to experience the coming of the Divine One in new ways. And trust that every question you have will be answered. And God will remind you how wonderful you are, how beautiful you are, beyond the idealism of what you think can be. Because the reality is, it is already here. You are perfect and holy just the way you are because of the birth of the baby who reminds us we are loved beyond our wild imaginations. Today we remember those persons who have lived with illness, and specifically those who have lived with the realities of HIV and AIDS. The illness that has riddled our world with all kinds of negativity. The illness that defined the Universal Fellowship of Metropolitan Churches as the church with AIDS. The illness that at one point in our history killed 1/3 of our church. But also the illness that helped gay men realize that women were not the enemy. And I would say that helped women, especially lesbian women, realize that gay men were not the enemy either. Because it is the women of MCC that cared for our brothers as they were dying and also went to the family members after their deaths. It was the women who reminded us of God's love and God's grace. And so we give thanks for that reality. We give thanks for all that has happened in the prevention and the care of persons who live with HIV, those who live with AIDS, and those who are affected by HIV and AIDS. And we are not afraid to stand as people who invite God into that reality. Because that is the reality of Christmas. That it doesn't matter what it is that we have going on in our lives. We are profoundly loved by God at every intersection, who comes in fullness to bless us with amazing gifts. And so this morning, I invite you to stand. We will sing together, Shine, Jesus, Shine. And as we sing, those of you that would like to come and light a candle in memory or honor of somebody who has died from AIDS or lives with HIV, come and do so as we sing. We may want to write a name of someone on our quilt whose name might not be there. But as we do, we invite God into a present Advent reality into our lives. And we all say together, Amen. Amen.